AkilonWastes Game 3. SOS, the blue Protoss player from Woongjin Stars, fighting for his life against his red Terran opponent, STX Soul's Innovation, in as many finals as can be in 2 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. The Hellbat man. Last week was the Dark Knight. This week, the Hellbat rises. The Hellbat man rises. It's true.
It is true.
So far so good for Innovation. But SOS, he keeps telling us he's got these builds, man, and this may be a chance for him to show them. We'll see.
And Terran having a pretty solid advantage, 28-20 on AkilonWastes so far.
Yeah, definitely looking pretty good, and you know, a big part of that as well is that it's fairly easy to drop aggressively on this map. I mean, you can get at the bases from multiple angles. It's a relatively small map. It's a little bit narrow as well, so you can bring medevacs in from both sides very easily. And doing things like that, splitting up the Protoss army to defend the drops, and then moving in with your main push in the front, really is a difficult thing for Protoss to hold. And no doubt, Innovation's going to try to exploit that as best he can this game.
Well, here we go. The first scout in for SOS, sees that barracks completing.
Yep.
Gotta go ahead and check that gas and realize that means Reapers.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna see that immediately. He's gonna know what's up. And we'll see if he can kind of stop that Reaper from doing much more than it did last time.
There we go. He's gonna head out of the base right now, too.
And Casajun is just like driving the crowd insane, man. I don't know what he's saying, but they're very excited. Maybe they just love Reapers, but really what Terran doesn't, you know?
Here we go. Pylon on the side this time, as the first Reaper is out on the map and coming across Innovation. Actually, eBay blocking the expansion of his opponent this game.
Yeah, it's too bad he didn't see that, because he could have shut that down really early. As is, it's going to be annoying for him to deal with. Oh, the Zealot meeting the Reaper halfway across the map. And Innovation wasn't paying attention for a second. Took some damage on it. SOS, though, needing to go back home, trying to use that brush. Yep.
To actually get some free hits and zone out that Reaper. Some very clever micro from SOS.
And this is a really smart call, too, for SOS to just send that Zealot across the map, because it does kind of keep Innovation at home. He's going to need that Reaper to defend.
And here we go. Stalker is out on the map now. SOS comes to expand.
Yeah.
And guess what he finds? A clunky engineering bay.
Exactly. So he's going to need that Zealot to take it out quickly, but it shouldn't be that much of an issue. But really, I think kind of the big story there was denying that Reaper scout, denying any sort of Reaper damage from Innovation. It was a nice little bonus for SOS this game. Meanwhile, we do have 2 engineering bays going up for Innovation back in his base, getting that second command center as well. So really fast upgrades for this guy. He's going to take a little bit of a hit in the army size, but he counts that as worth it.
Absolutely. Well, finally that eBay gets canceled. Nexus down for SOS. This Reaper still tooling around, trying to find an opening, and he's gonna get up into that main base for a little scouting. +1 attack already on the way for Innovation, so some very early upgrades from our STX Soul player.
Got the Reaper, and he didn't really give it a lot of scouting either. So again, you know, a really good start for SOS, but we've seen this before. We've seen good starts from SOS in Game 1, and then maybe not Game 2, but that was a little bit weird. But really, it's more about the mid to late game. Can SOS put pressure on his opponent? Can he deny that pressure? And can he go into a strong late game? It really is all about the late game setup, I think, right now, if SOS is going to continue to kind of play the way he did in Game 1.
And here we go. 2 Stalkers coming up. They're going to find a force of Marines waiting at the top of the natural with a bunker building. He can guess what's coming in next. And that'll be the CC landing there at the natural of Innovation.
Yeah. A very similar looking build right now for SOS to what we saw in Game 1, going for the Robo and also going for that single forge too. And we'll see if he adds on that Twilight Council later, but so far it's looking a little bit similar. Yeah, there's the +1 armor as well. Innovation. I made a mistake earlier. I said he had 2 engineering bays, which was true, but they both weren't in his base. One of the ones that was building was still the one blocking it. So just 1 engineering bay being used right now anyway for Innovation.
And he's pushing out on the map a little bit. +1 attack nearly complete for him. +1 armor coming up for sOs.
Pretty normal builds for both of these guys so far.
And we're just going to be sitting. And in this situation, what are we going to see, Don?
Well, I mean, we're going to see, I think, from Innovation, at least some very standard stuff, continuing to add on the barracks, add on the medevacs, add on the upgrades. He's going to do this little push, it looks like, to kind of capitalize on the fact that he has +1 finish. If his opponent has largely stalkers, he can push in and do some damage. Those 2 sentries, though, are going to help sOs a lot. On the sOs side, though, we have a Warp Prism on the way along with this +1. So maybe we'll see some Zealots dropped into the main. It's very possible that we also, too, might see a DT drop, as we do see the Twilight Council coming out, too. Now, it's going to take a while. Oh, a nice cutoff there.
He does split up the forces of Innovation. However, the Marines still getting in right there. Stim nearly done. Combat shields on the way as well. So does force the use of some of those force fields, but Innovation still taking pot shots at these Zealots while he retreats.
With that +1, he can micro really, really well against this, and that's what he's doing.
Oh, he's taking out the sentries.
sOs really overestimating himself by pushing out that far. Yeah, that was not worth losing 2 sentries over and a couple stalkers. I don't think. A little bit of a mistake from sOs. Innovation moving into that double medevac production, and sOs coming in for the drop. It's not going to be DTZ, as you can see. Probably just going to be some Zealots initially, and this is going to, ideally for sOs's sake, keep Innovation in his base a little bit more.
And look at that, the Marine already waiting there for any possible drop plate that could come up. He's going to warp in, load up, and then unload and warp in some more units.
Yeah.
Once that cooldown comes up from the warp gates. Here he goes.
Yep. Going to come into the main now with this Warp Prism. We'll see if Innovation's ready for this. He's actually moving out with a large force, so that's going to be scary for Innovation, yes, but keep in mind, sOs has nearly nothing at home right now. Just a couple of mortals and bio units, and he may need a little bit more than that. Losing those 2 sentries early on is going to be critical for this push.
And there's the Stim going down. He does see the Warp Prism, but Innovation going to be pushing in right now. The Zealots have been dropped. The Warp Prism is there, but he's not warping anything else in because he's worried about his natural picking up after he baits out that photon overcharge.
Yeah, should be worried about his main right now, man. That's exactly where Innovation is going. The drop in the base of Innovation didn't do a whole lot.
Force field's going down, but just picking up the troops immediately, wasting a little bit more of that sentry energy. Templar Archives now going to be on the way, and there we go.
Zealot Charge was a big part of that, too. That really helped out sOs, but again, you know, we've seen him hold off these drops from Innovation before in earlier games. It really is more about those late game fights, I think, between these 2 players. Innovation not giving up yet, though.
Here we go. Charging Zealots going to go ahead and corner those Marines and the Marauders, and that'll end the drop for the moment from Innovation.
Yeah.
He's trying to find another angle looping back around right now.
sOs is making 2 Templar Archives. I don't think he needs both of those.
Oh boy.
Okay, I think he did just cancel one. No, one finished. He is actually making a second one. Yep. A little bit of autopilot there. I think we are seeing some nerves out of our Protoss player right now as well.
He was focusing on collapsing those rocks and opening up the route to his 3rd.
Only 1 upgrade on that building now, buddy.
All right, so that Templar Archives looks like it will complete, actually.
There's also that Immortal sitting at the 3rd, too, which is a little bit bizarre. So sOs just making these little errors here, and you really cannot afford to do that against Innovation. This is so dangerous. In fact, does he even... Okay, did he get that Immortal back with his army? I'm not totally sure. No, not yet.
It did kill a Marine, but...
Well, yeah, it's kind of there to watch for drops, I've got a feeling, but still a little bit vulnerable out in the open. He's going to maybe want to rejoin that with his army a little bit later. Here comes Innovation again.
Innovation going to go ahead and drop right in the mineral line in the main. Feedback goes down on the medevac, but not quite enough to kill it. However, it will absorb that energy. It will not be able to heal these Marines. Finally going down right there.
Yeah.
2. And here we go. Mothership Core just going to clean this up along with Photon Overcharge. So Innovation not doing a tremendous amount of damage.
Well, you know, we really are seeing why Terran players are having a harder time being aggressive in the early stages of the game. Those first initial drops are very, very vulnerable to things like the Photon Overcharge on the Nexus, and you just can't be as comfortable doing it as you were in Wings of Liberty. Now, Innovation behind this has been adding on a lot of Hellbats to that composition. The charge loss for SOS are not going to be anywhere near as effective as they would have been in the last expansion. Innovation is going to be pretty prepared for this, and he has a 30 supply lead right now. That third base paying off because it's been a little bit earlier.
And not to mention, Innovation also going to be getting some Ghosts mixed in very soon. Ghost Academy has completed for him.
Yeah.
So that's going to make these Templars pretty useless if he can hit those good EMPs.
Yeah, Innovation's got a pretty scary army right now against SOS. The upgrades, though, pretty good for both players. Innovation, of course, going for the attack. Oh, it works out.
And here we go. He's kiting backwards right now, sending out the Hellbats to absorb some of the fire from these Zealots while simultaneously dropping inside of the main. A bit of harassment from the Warp Prism, but it's just not going to do that much damage.
Yeah. So he's going to be able to hold both of these off for now, it looks like. But Innovation going through the rocks at that main. And a really smart idea for SOS as well, recognizing that against that composition of a lot of Hellbats and a lot of Marauders, Storm was not going to be worth it. But taking away the healing that those medevacs offer, brilliant decision by SOS.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Ghost Academy was actually canceled by Innovation at this point. We haven't seen it. Any ghosts coming out yet.
You know, a lot of times with these compositions, you can end the game. Before you
there
really
we go,
the
Ghost coming
There
down.
the Ghost starting now, yeah. He's going to need a little bit more. His medevacs all so low on energy now because of...
Down on the medevacs, not quite enough to kill him, but a lot of damage being done to the third. Charging Zealots will come in, will try and force these Marauders back. There's the pickup. A lonely Marauder cut in half, tragically, while he was left behind.
That does happen. A little bit messy.
So callous.
Oh well. I feel nothing for the Zealots. They're all like for ire and everything, so they're okay. Don't worry about it. SOS moving out now. One Colossus, one Archon, a bunch of Templar. There's the second Colossus joining. Innovation still having a strong army, but again, the sustain of this army has been cut by quite a bit. The medevacs are regenerating energy now, so there is kind of this little window for SOS, but it's closing really fast.
Here we go. That's going to be a planetary fortress at the third, so Innovation trying to stay safe right here.
Yeah.
He's got a line of troops up there at 3 o'clock, and now he's trying to cut down the rocks. Got to be careful, and SOS will pull back.
Yeah, a little bit hesitant, you can see, and I think that was smart for SOS to get out of there. And this whole army, I'm really not sure he's going to have what it takes. He may need every single one of the energy points on those Templar to fight this.
Yeah, instead he's... the snipe starting to come down as well onto the Templar. Some storms covering the retreat of SOS right there.
And Innovation is totally fine with zoning this, but look at this, he's getting Templar as well.
He's sniping them right in the rear.
That's not a fun place to be sniped.
It isn't. It really hurts. You can't sit down the next day.
Not at all. Now the Hellbat's a little bit out of position here. He has to stim the Marauders again to get them into the spots, but are there enough Hellbats?
Good storms in the center right there, dealing some damage on the clumped up units. However, this Viking really going unopposed. Only one stalker left, finally gets taken out.
It's so funny, there was just barely any anti-air for SOS, and so that one Colossus took a lot more damage than you would normally see. Innovation pushed back a little bit.
All right, well, SOS wants to get into this third, and he will take down those rocks, leaving it a bit more vulnerable. SOS only down about 10. Supply right now. He's being cautious, but it can be dangerous to go here alone.
These counterattacks are looking pretty good. Innovation coming down the...
Loss eye up. Another Templar getting picked off.
Yeah, using the storms on those Vikings is okay because he's got a lot of AoE otherwise in the Archons and the Colossi, but he can't fight this, and Innovation knows it. Innovation wants to move in. Oh, all the ghosts.
Wow, all the ghosts in the front just get cut down by Storm and the Colossi.
They got some great EMPs, though, and SOS on the run yet again.
And more Zealous being added. He's got not a lot to deal with the Vikings as they continue to focus down Colossus after Colossus.
Yeah, I think
and SOS looking pretty desperate right now.
He's in a lot of trouble right now. Innovation's going to be able to very efficiently kill this army. Microing back a little bit there against those charge bots, but it's kind of celebration micro now.
There we go. Innovation cuts down the forward force of SOS, and now he is 60 supply in the lead.
Yeah. I mean, Innovation, knowing that if he sacrificed those ghosts to get all the EMPs he needed, it wouldn't matter that he lost them all because he would have such a strong army when the EMPs ended that he could just push like this and very likely push to victory.
Well, here we go. SOS trying to regroup in his main right now. He's got a single Colossus. These Marauders quite low, actually.
Yeah, he can go after the fourth here, too. He doesn't really need to push into the natural just yet. That's exactly what we're going to see.
Here we go. Colossus under pressure from the Vikings. Shield's already gone. More shots from the Vikings. Photon overcharge at the fourth, but it just is not going to be enough. Nexus goes down.
SOS trying to save his third base. It doesn't work out. Innovation loading up and getting out of there. Ooh, taking a lot of damage on those medevacs. So, oh, they were all so low. Oh, man.
Potential disaster averted for Innovation.
Yeah.
But he still has a commanding lead here in Game 3.
He's got to be really careful, though. SOS, man, I mean, if you have your army and a bunch of injured medevacs, you can easily lose 60 supply, 70 supply if you lose all those medevacs.
Here we go. Reinforcements joining the main ball of death.
That's right.
Of Innovation. He's trying to get into that third, but he has to survive that very narrow choke. And with Storm, that could be a tall order.
Yeah, it's tough to get in through that alcove.
So he's going to do a drop. In the meantime, well, for Innovation, this Colossus has been able to do a tremendous amount of damage from the back.
No gateway backbone at all, though, for SOS, and Innovation also doing tons in the third. SOS is in big trouble, man. There goes the last Colossi. 80 supply ahead right now for Innovation. There's the Manor Mules, GG.
And that'll be a 3-0 score so far.